We want to be jacked and stacked like pancakes and strong as steel. We want to be yoked and useful. We want to be jacked and strong. So we're also going to talk about muscle growth and strength. Strength is the external manifestation of muscular capacity, a quantifiable result of force applied in a specific context. It is a measure, a value, something that can be seen, recorded, and judged in the external world. Strength reflects what muscles can do in relation to the demands placed upon them. Whether lifting a heavy object, resisting force, or moving weight efficiently, it is situational, tied to the environment and the task at hand. Strength, therefore, is a performance. Hypertrophy, on the other hand, is internal. It is not a display but a process, a transformation within the muscle fibers themselves. It reflects not what the muscle can do, but what they are becoming. Hypertrophy is a response, a dialogue between the muscle and the stresses placed upon it, unfolding over time as it adapts, grows, and increases in size. Where strength is situational, hypertrophy is developmental. While strength speaks to the ability of muscles in a given moment, hypertrophy speaks to the potential for growth. One is a fleeting outcome, the other an evolving condition. Strength measures the effect, hypertrophy describes the journey. In this way, hypertrophy can be seen as the preparation for strength, an accumulation of raw material that in the right conditions can be converted into power. Strength is like the engine's horsepower, the immediate power output a car can deliver at any given moment. It determines how fast the car can go, how quickly it can accelerate, or how much force it can exert, whether pulling or pushing something heavy. Strength, in this analogy, is the car's performance capacity in action, a measurable output that changes depending on how the engine is used and the demands placed upon it. Hypertrophy, however, is akin to upgrading the size of the engine itself. It's the process of increasing the engine's capacity, allowing for greater potential power over time. Even if you're not using all that power immediately, the larger engine provides the foundation for greater performance in the future. This process doesn't directly increase horsepower at every moment, but it enhances the engine's ability to generate more force in the long run. In essence, strength is the car's ability to demonstrate power right now, while hypertrophy is the behind-the-scenes work of making the engine bigger, setting the stage for more potential performance down the road. But, just like a car, the size of the engine isn't the only thing contributing to the car's performance. Just the same, muscle size is not the only thing contributing to strength. How the nervous system interacts with that muscle plays a large role. So when someone decides to lift a heavy object, a series of complex and highly coordinated processes occur within the body, starting in the brain and cascading through the neuromuscular system. It begins in the motor cortex in the brain, where the decision to lift the object is made. The signals go through the CNS, the central nervous system, which acts as a command center. This signal travels down the spinal cord to the muscles involved in the task. The signal reaches the motor neurons in the spinal cord, which then activate individual muscle fibers. Neuromuscular activation. The efficiency and coordination of this action determine how smoothly and powerfully the movement will occur. More motor units, groups of muscle fibers controlled by a single neuron, are recruited to help lift heavier loads, especially when maximal strength is required. As countless muscle fibers contract in unison, the muscle as a whole shortens and produces force. The amount of force generated depends on muscle size, of course, but also motor unit recruitment. The more motor units activated, the more force is produced, and rate of muscle contraction, how fast and hard the muscle fibers are working. But not only that, lifting a heavy object usually requires the coordinated action of multiple muscles. This involves prime movers, which would be the quadriceps, for example, in a squat, and stabilizer muscles, muscles that hold the joints in place, ensuring smooth movement like the core muscles when lifting something heavy. And antagonist muscles, muscles that perform the opposite action, which must relax to allow efficient movement, like the triceps when doing biceps curls. In summary, lifting a heavy object is the result of a highly coordinated dance between the brain, nervous system, and muscles. The brain initiates the movement, the nervous system recruits the necessary muscles, and the muscles contract to produce force. Since being strong is always in the context of a movement, a lift, or a task, that means that strength is a skill. A skill that requires motor learning and training specificity. Muscle growth is more general adaptation, so because of this nervous system component, you can get stronger without gaining muscle. Which is why you can bias your training to favor one over the other. At the far ends of the spectrum, power lifters versus bodybuilders, there actually isn't that much overlap. Yes, they both lift weights, but in a very different way. Pure strength training is not great at growing muscle, and pure muscle growth training will not be very efficient at gaining maximal 1 rep max strength. In the next video, I want to talk about the difference between training for pure strength and pure size, but most of us fall somewhere in the middle. We want to be jacked and stacked like pancakes and strong as steel. We want to be yoked and useful. We want to be jacked and strong. So we're also going to talk about how to get the best of both worlds. That's it for now. See you next time.